You're listening to the Murder Speaks podcast, the show that spills the tea about true crime. Here's your host, Wendy Hinbest.
Hey, welcome back. So today's real crime story is about Elizabeth Palomino from Miami, Florida. Elizabeth opened up a dance studio. April 16th, 2011. The hall is very busy. Around 7:30 p.m., Elizabeth goes to get supplies with her friend. Her husband calls her and tells her to go home because they have enough supplies. He gets home around 1 a.m. and finds a broken lamp on the floor. He calls out for his wife, but she doesn't answer. And the son's bedroom light is on. He thought that was unusual because their son was away at school. He tries to open the bedroom door, but struggles at first. Eventually, he gets the bedroom door open and finds his wife dead, surrounded by a pool of blood. The police learned the husband didn't call 911. He called his best friend first, and his friend called 911. The police find that unusual. They learn Elizabeth's friend dropped her off at home around 10 p.m. Elizabeth's husband didn't get home until about 1 a.m. And when the police arrived at the scene, he was covered in blood. So the police consider him a suspect. The murder weapon wasn't found at the scene. There was a trail of blood going outside the window to the apartment they rented out. The tenant claims he heard nothing that night. He becomes a suspect. They bring her husband to the station and question him. Eventually, he is cleared. They bring the tenant to the station for questioning. The tenant came home from work around 9:30 p.m. He tells police he was home and did not hear anything. The police find that very hard to believe, so they try it for themselves. They make noise in the bedroom while a police officer is stationed in the tenant's apartment, and the police officer didn't hear anything. The husband tells police about Reinirio Rivero. He did work for them once in a while. The night Elizabeth was murdered, he left the party right before the guests started to arrive. Elizabeth's husband found it strange that Reinirio didn't call, considering it was all over the news. He has no fixed address, so the police couldn't find him. Then, on April 21st, the police receive a call from Elizabeth's husband. He tells police that Reinirio has called him and told him he'll be at the hospital. The police tell him Elizabeth is dead. So the police go to the hospital and wait outside the hospital for him. When he comes out, they begin questioning him. The police tell him that Elizabeth is dead, and he appeared surprised, which puzzled police because the day before, he said something totally different to the husband on the phone. So the police bring him to the station. He has a hard time keeping his story straight. He slips and tells the police that he was at the Palomino's house. He broke into the house looking for cash. Then Elizabeth comes home. He hides in her closet. He watched Elizabeth come into the room. She opened the closet, and he realized he had to kill her. April 22nd, he is arrested for the murder and receives life in prison. Wow. This guy is a piece of work. The Palominos bring him into their home, help him, give him work, and this is how he repays them. By killing Elizabeth. Talk about no good deed going unpunished. Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode of Murder Speaks. Hope you enjoyed it. Please share it. Sharing is caring. And if you are a true crime addict like me Check out my store, crystalkiss.com. That's Crystal with a K, for some murder merch. I sell t-shirts, hoodies, leggings, and tank tops, so check it out. Free shipping on all orders. Join me next week for another episode of Murder Speaks. I'm going to have a guest. I'm going to be interviewing Johanna Colin. She was in the Netflix movie Feel the Beat. So don't miss it. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks. Bye.